We interrupt this program to bring you
Wednesday afternoon, fresh up out of school. Booty gang coming through, chilling with the tunes. Ooh, and all in due time. Relax and unwind, taking troubles off your mind. Just lay back, just recline, and listen to this rhyme. It's almost showtime. When I say that it is fine, then it's fine. Wow, ow. You know we spitting lessons. You know we on this channel kicking straight up of essence. Woo!
Sibling fights aren't really a rare phenomenon. In fact, I think the majority of sibling interactions actually end up in some sort of argument or fight. I had this one cousin in particular who used to always tell me stories about whenever he and his sister would get in fights whenever they were younger. However, my brother and I, we never really got into many fights. My brother is like 9 years older than me. So what would happen for most of our fights, it would start out with me running my mouth, him punching me like all the way through the wall, and then I'm telling on you. Except there was this one time. I was on my way home from college and my brother was staying with our parents at the time. He had recently gotten hurt. Like he tore his quadricep or something like that. He tore something that was pretty serious and he had to do intense rehab and he had to wear a huge bulky eye sleeve. Needless to say, some assistance was required. So it's my brother, me, and my cousin had come by to visit and spend some time with us. And we started out the day by going to get something to eat. My cousin put it out there that he would pay for everyone because that's important to the story. Anime filler. We went and picked up food from a southern fast food chain called Cookout. If you've never been, oh my god, you're missing out. They have what is known as a cookout tray. And in the cookout tray, you have an entree, 2 sides, and a drink. So your entrees are things like burgers, hot dogs, different types of chicken sandwiches, etc., etc. For your 2 sides, you get a choice from a couple different types of wraps. You get chicken nuggets, it could be a corn dog, hush puppies, quesadillas, some crazy sides. And then of course you get a drink. And you get all of this for about $5 or so. Now, back to the canon. We each ordered our unique cookout trays, and I decided I wanted to get a milkshake with mine instead of a soda. Which that also meant that mine cost a little extra. I can't exactly remember what my brother said, but he made some sort of remark about how I wasn't paying for it and I shouldn't have asked for a milkshake. And my thought was, dang, I just wanted a milkshake. I know cuz are cool with it and ain't nobody really tripping on it like that, my G. But what ifs? We get home, take the food out of the bag, and somehow that led to another argument, which got heated rather quickly. So we're barking, going back and forth as we establish our dominance because it's about to be a new alpha in the pack. So you know those people who are like obsessively big for no apparent reason at all? Like they just love going to the gym and even the thought of lifting weights gives them a hyper sense of pleasure? Yeah, I don't really understand it either, but that's my brother. Remember, he's been hurt for a few months now and he hasn't been working out at all. So he's deflated a little. And at the time, I was a Division I collegiate athlete. So I was in the physical prime of my life, my G. So now is my chance. I gotta make a move. Now. I don't know if I gave some sort of signal that I was about to make a move, but when I tell you this fool jumped up and grabbed me with the quickness, he had my arms restrained and I cannot move at all. Like, he legit had me in some sort of shadow possession jutsu. I was stuck like Chuck. Eventually he let me go and we headed our separate ways. But out of the corner of my eye, I saw his cookout tray sitting on the floor, feeling VVV defeated. I picked up his tray and I threw it at him. Food goes flying everywhere. I go downstairs to eat my food and I was so mad. I ain't even want my food anymore. The absolute worst cookout tray and milkshake I ever had ruined the whole situation. Like most sibling fights, time passed, I went and apologized, and we were all good. I still want my hug that got dubbed, but you know, it's all good. What I learned is there's gonna be times in life where you don't agree with someone. And usually bigger fights and arguments start out as small and petty disagreements that spill over into larger issues as time comes into play. That's not always the case, but it's not uncommon. It's important to be self-aware of when you or the situation around you are becoming elevated and calmly communicating the need to take some time out to tend to your own reactivity. Logic is panic's prey, and while our emotions are valid, our actions based on those emotions can often be detrimental if not assessed and addressed appropriately. And don't lose your people over petty fights. Having fights and disagreements are sometimes unavoidable, but when it does happen, leave it out on the field and be open to the repair work that comes after. Oh, you thought the story was over. Not exactly. What I learned retrospectively is that when my brother grabbed me, he flung my cousin into the door. So it was actually my cousin who took the most physical damage out of anyone in the fight. And remember that cookout tray that I threw? Yeah, that was actually my cousin's food. So in addition to getting pushed into the door, his food got wasted and he was the one that paid for everyone's food. So all in all, he was the biggest loser out of the whole scenario. I did apologize to my brother. However, I never apologized to my cousin. Cuzzo, if you're watching this, I apologize for wasting your food and for putting you in the middle of my ascendance to dominance. Next cookout tray is on me.